Hey guys, I'm James and welcome to Deep Dive on Healthie's group plan. I'm really excited. Thank you for everyone taking the time to join us for this. Awesome attendance. So today we're going to begin. So some things to note, give us a Zoom wave at any point. You can't hear or see presenters. We are recording as just double checked with Stephanie. So this will be, the replay will be emailed to everyone who signed up that maybe wasn't able to attend or want to use as a resource to share with others. After I'm done walking through some of the group practice features and what you're able to do with the platform, we're definitely going to have a dedicated time for Q&A. So please submit any questions at any point through the Q&A box, and then we will follow up with those at the end. And also these PowerPoint slides are also going to be made available in the replay email as well. Awesome. So quick introduction. As you might have guessed, my name is James. I am the strategic account manager for Healthie, which essentially means I do implementation and account management for larger group practices and enterprises. Quick fact, I am coming up on 4 years at Healthie, so I know a few things about it. So hopefully you're in good hands today. So this class is really for a lot of different people. So any current members like looking to expand their practice by adding a new support account or a team member. So someone who, for example, hopefully are scaling, needs a little bit more resources or help on their team, you're able to add those people to it. Also just providers looking for a technology solution as they expand their practice. Also, if you are joining us as a current group practice member, maybe a good refresher if we've been using it for a little bit of some of the functionality, or for brand new, learning a few tips and tricks along the way. So what I'm going to do today is run through a few different parts and then leave some time for Q&A. So you'll see I'm going to run through kind of a quick overview of Healthie. I'm not going to grind in too deep to the details, so we'll definitely share some resources for that after. Adding team members, visibility, permissions, and settings, group scheduling, group billing, and some other additional features that you can use as the group practice, and then some next steps. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is share my screen and I'm going to walk you through the platform. Awesome. So quick overview of Healthie. If we're not familiar, we're brand new or just kind of need a refresher in this, is Healthie is essentially a platform that allows you to run your business or team. So anything from billing, services, intakes, documentation. And on the other side of that umbrella is also the ability to drive engagement with your clients. So while Healthie allows you on the admin and provider side to run your business, on the other side, the engagement piece is really powerful, where you're able to communicate, interact, share things with your client. They're able to share things with you in a variety of ways. So think of Healthie as like an umbrella for your business, where both the functionality, the admin, the scheduling side, and also engaging with clients as well. So if we're already using Healthie, with using the group practice in this platform, all of the features that you're using previously exist on the platform. So things like chat, calendar, charting, documents, forms, billing, all of that still lives in the platform. One of the main differences is the organization on the left side. What organization does is, if I have multiple people on my team, it allows me to see everyone's calendar and schedule and activity in one area. So think of this as like the nerve center for like what my team is doing, seeing, and scheduled for. So for example, on my test account, this is my team. So I'm able to see everyone's schedule, what they're scheduled for the day, the week, and the month in one area. So in this, I'm able to see both, like, for example, James, that's my calendar. I'm also able to see other people's calendars here as well, just to get an idea of like, what does my team have scheduled for the day? So really helpful to be able to see that. Also, if I need to add appointments to the calendar as well for other people. So for example, if I wanted to add a support member to my team, I can add them and they'd be able to schedule on our behalf in this area just by clicking on one of the client's names. Or providers' names, I'm sorry, selecting a client, and then scheduling that appointment for them. which then automatically updates that provider and that client as well. So if we do have someone like a support member that we want to add, like a front desk person who handles scheduling, they would be able to do that for you in this area. And where I'm able to do that is I can add basically as many providers or support staff as I need on my team. There's no limit to how many people they can work within an organization on the Healthie platform. So if I select members on the side, I can see a list of all of my team in one area. So this is where I'm able to add multiple people on here. So you'll see I have a few standard and support. To walk you quickly through the differences, standard really just means provider, someone who is appearing on the schedule. Clients are able to see, book, interact with, and those standard members are also able to see, book, and interact with those clients. So those are the people that are really directly connected with your client base. Support, as mentioned before, think of those as potentially admin, front desk, contracted employees that you use that work with you to maybe schedule, check out clients' billing information, process insurance claims, do a lot of the internal office work and navigation. They can also be added who need access to those providers' calendars or schedules, or the client's profile or billing information as well. What's really nice about the platform is every person I add, I can customize those settings or visibility permissions to exactly how I want them. So for example, me as the admin, if I select edit under settings, I'm able to see all of the settings, and this is me as an admin. So I have a top level control. I'm able to see all clients' information, all billing information. I can pull organizational wide reports. So if I go through these settings, they're pretty extensive. What I'm able to do with each person that I add to the platform, I can turn on and off specific settings. So for example, for me, I'm an admin. So I want to be able to see all clients in the organization. I want to appear on the schedule. I want to be able to add or remove clients. Calendar and appointment permissions. Maybe I want an email notification every single time an appointment is canceled. So I know to, as a team leader, follow up with that provider or those clients to be able to see, hey, how do we get these people rescheduled? Or if we're seeing a lot of cancellations, kind of figuring out a reason why that's happening. Same for billing. As the admin, I see all billing. I have access to all clients' information, and I'm able to charge clients. But maybe we add a team member, we have another standard member, like Julian, for example. She's a provider that works for me. I might not want that person to have all of those visibility or permission settings enabled. So what I can do when I've added that person, I can go in and I was like, you know what? I want her to be a provider, but I don't want her to see all clients. And I don't want this person to be able to archive or add new clients. This provider, I'm just going to assign manually clients to this person, and that's who they'll be working with. So what you're able to do here is based on who you're adding and what you want them to do in the system, you're able to customize their visibility settings and allow them to see exactly or do exactly what you want them to do in the platform. Cool. Some other features of the group practice as far as scheduling goes, you are able to see everyone's calendar in one area. But what you're also able to do is, in a lot of cases, maybe you and another provider are working with the same client, or you want to schedule a session where it's not just me, it's also my other coworker, Tom, for example. So what I'm able to do on this platform is if I want a client to book with both of us, what I'm able to do is I select that time. I can select group here. And then I can also add another member of my team to that call. So I'm going to add Julian to this. Actually, I'm going to add myself to this as well. Both of us are going to work with Laura. And then when I schedule this, this will be added to both of our calendars. So I'm able to schedule with other team members with one provider. You'll also see another example I have here is I've created an appointment type called internal meeting, where I've scheduled this with the rest of my team. There are no clients involved, so you can also use this for internal scheduling. If you want to block off some time for like an internal team meeting, something you can also do under the organization umbrella. Awesome. So moving on to clients. So traditionally in a non-group practice with Practice Plus, beginnings, or just our standard Healthie subscription, every client is connected to you as a provider. In this case with group, so for example, I'm looking at these clients, I can see which provider they're associated with. What you're able to do with a group account is if I go to a specific client's account, and select actions here. Under personal information, there's an option that says other care team members. So this is a good use case for this would be like if I run an integrated practice where I have a provider, maybe a physical therapist, a registered nurse, or just a few different registered dietitians working together. What I'm able to do is add a new person to this account. So what this allows me to do is now this client is associated with both me as their main provider and then an additional care team member as well. So what this does is it allows Tom to see that client's information. That client is able to see is able to schedule with both me and Tom and also be able to message them too. So this is a more comprehensive approach where if I have a client who signs up, maybe my organization has multiple people that work with that client at the same time, or we want to be able to give that client the option to book with multiple people, to interact with multiple people, or share things like their journal entries or goals or notes with them. This is an easy way to set that up. Awesome. So moving on to another large piece that you're able to do, get a little bit of enhanced features or abilities is under billing. So if we're not familiar with Healthie, under billing, you are able to both process and charge clients through our integration with Stripe. So if we create packages or services where we're selling appointments or programs, or just like a monthly subscription or access to a provider, that's where you're able to set this up. On the other side of that, you're also able to submit insurance claims through the platform as well. Whether that be a super bill, which is essentially a very detailed receipt you're giving to a client where they take it to their insurance company and seek reimbursement on their end, or CMS 1500s. CMS 1500s are basically what we submit to insurance companies to get reimbursed for services. So through the platform, if you or your group does this, you're able to create these here. So I bring this up just in case we have someone, for example, like a biller on our team, on your team, that handles this maybe externally. We've been creating these, downloading these as a PDF, sending them off to a biller or someone who's like a team member who's in charge of this. If you added someone to your support, like as a support member to this platform, they would be able to go in here, create those CMS 1500s, and submit directly through Office Ally. If we're not super familiar with Office Ally, that is a platform. It's an insurance reimbursement platform that allows you to create CMS 1500s and submit directly from Healthie into Office Ally, which basically a lot of organizations that use us for group practice have a biller in here that once they've created these, they've set up that connection under Office Ally settings. Those CMS 1500s are created by the biller under new CMS 1500. And then once they're created, you can directly submit, and that information as far as like reimbursement details comes back and updates the status and reimbursement details here. So if we have a biller or we're thinking about hiring one, you can add that person as a support member to your team, and they'd be able to come in here, create those for you, and submit those either directly to Office Ally or whatever payment or whatever insurance software they're using, without you having to create these and then sending them off yourself. So going down to client packages. So as a quick refresher, client packages are essentially how we sell services within the platform. I can create client packages that have appointment types in them, programs in them, as I mentioned before, basically monthly subscription or access. And what I'm able to do as the admin is I can create packages for my entire team in one area too. So for example, in this group practice, I have a few different packages here. So let's go ahead and use this one as an example, the consultation. So this is something I charge $100 a month. You're enrolled in a program. You also get a group webinar and one virtual session. And this is kind of what you pay month to month. Pricing probably a little cheap, but just an example. What I'm able to do is on your traditional account, you're able to share this link, embed this link onto your website, share it in an email blast, social media, or a blog post. But with a group practice, I get a little bit more options when I do this. So if I select share here, I'm going to see an option at the top to select provider. So what I'm able to do is I'm able to create customized links for each one of my members of my team. So for example, if I shared this link, this would be for my account and my availabilities. People, whoever bought this package or scheduled, would be directly tied to me. But what I'm also able to do is if I click this drop down here, I can select a specific provider. So for example, also Julian, I want to create a custom link for my provider, Julian, and copy here. This means that this link was shared, for example, like on my website, if I had a bio page for all my team members, I could put that or embed that link on that page. And then if someone books, they read Julian's bio, really like that person, it makes sense, they want to connect, they would be able to directly book with that person here. Other option that is really useful is any provider. So this is really useful for discovery calls, initial consultations. On our website, we have a booking link. Clients aren't super familiar with our organization yet, so they might not have a preference. They don't want to read through a few bios to make that decision. So what any provider allows you to do once you embed that onto your site is that anyone with any openings, that client can book with. So for example, I have an opening tomorrow at 10 a.m. Julian has an opening at 10 a.m. as well. If a client selects 10 a.m., it randomly assigns one of us to that client. So what this allows from a client's booking perspective is they see a lot more available times. Basically, the preference is the time they have available, less who they're going to see for that initial setup call or discovery call. And then once they're connected, they're working with that provider. So a great option for things like discovery call, if all of you on your team rotate for specific types of calls, a great way to do that where making sure everyone fairly gets those appointments without having to create a detailed bio page with each link. In my experience, organizations do both. Any provider typically lives on a landing page, and then specific links to specific clients' accounts would be on a bio page where if a client wanted to do a little bit more research, they'd be able to see who they want to work with and book with them as well. Awesome. So basically, recapping some of the key ones, I'm going to talk a little bit about more like group engagement, but if we take anything away from this, organization calendar, ability to schedule for yourself and for other people on the team, and also the ability to schedule with multiple members of the team at the same time. Clients, I can connect myself to I can connect a client to multiple providers at the same time. So they're able to see and interact with that client as an integrative or like group approach for care. Under billing, CMS 1500s, I can have a biller or a support member come in, create these and submit them through our integration with Office Ally. Client packages, any services I create, I can customize links or embed links for specific providers or to share links where any member of the team can be scheduled with a client as well. Awesome. So two more things to share with you as far as like internal use for this platform. Chat. So if we're not familiar with chat, easy way, HIPAA compliant way to message your clients on the app or browser. You can message multiple clients. You can message entire groups, either creating community chats or the ability to send message blasts or updates scheduled out to clients. What you're also able to do is if I select new here, I am able to create a chat or in most cases, a community chat. So for example, me, Neha, Tom, Julian, and Cal, we all work together. We work with the same clients, and we want to be able to talk about them in a HIPAA compliant way. So what I can do is I can start chat threads with my internal team to talk about clients. So in this case, it removes possibly, for example, if we're doing this via email or text, keeping this in one area, being able to see a thread of that entire communication in one place. And basically the same tool you're using to communicate with your clients, you're also able to communicate with your team members at the same time. Last part is documents. Documents, think of this as a digital resource library that you're able to share with clients. They're able to, like, for example, I have PDFs or one sheets or handouts or just like content in general that I want to share. I'm able to do that through this platform. What I'm also able to do with a group practice is if I have uploaded folders or things that I want to share, if I select share here, I have a new option on the bottom that says share with other members in your organization. So what that does is anything I've uploaded as the admin or head of my organization, that now would live in those other providers or support teams' documents. So this is really helpful if we have a standard library of resources that I want every one of my providers or support team to have access to. So then they're able to share with whoever they're working with, or if it's internal FAQ guides or anything around that nature, also for them to be able to access that through their platform too. So on top of running your business, the engagement piece internally is being able to share documents with each other and also be able to chat or create community threads where you're able to communicate to each other in the same area as well. Awesome. So I get that was a lot of information. It looks like we have some questions. Keep in mind, if we want to learn a little bit more about this, or there's a specific part of this that we have a little bit more questions about, let me quickly share my screen with you in a different one. Bear with me. Cool. So when we will also share these slides with these links after the call. But following up, if you are new to Healthie and we want to learn more, schedule a demo, or we want to basically set this up, you can definitely schedule a one-on-one with our sales team. If you're an existing member in a group practice, this link is to my calendar. I run the group practice account management. So if we're looking to upgrade or we're already group practice, have a few more questions about this or basically anything, that's also going to be a link to my calendar. Keep in mind, you can always contact us at hello@gethealthy.com. If you're an existing member, you'll also see a purple question mark icon on the bottom of the page once you log in. That is our dedicated support staff. They are awesome. They full-time. So if there's any questions about anything, both technical, how-to, best practices, also another good resource with us. Okay, that's a lot of talking. So what I'm going to do now is answer some questions. It looks like people have come in with a few.
Well, James, a couple people wanted to know about pricing.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So pricing really depends on your organization's needs. There's a lot of different levels you can go with the group practice. It also really depends on how many providers you want to add, or if there's any things like white labeling or customizations or integrations, or basically your business needs and how you want to connect that all into Healthie. It's really best to reach out to our sales team with that link to be able to answer those questions, so we get a good idea of like your specific business needs, and then give you a better idea of what that pricing would be.
If you're a current member, just to add, I'm going to put it in the chat box, but you can go ahead and just shoot us an email at hello@gethealthy.com as well, and our team can work with you and let you know what the pricing would be for your plan. Cool. And I'm not sure if Holly, if you're still here on the call, you wanted to know if there was a specific feature that was available for all versions of Healthie or just the group plan. If you want to pop into the chat and let us know which feature that was that you were speaking about, we can answer that for you. Okay. And in the meantime, there is a question about packages, and can you, James, okay, if you can add a link with 2 providers, but not a third. Yeah, so question. Sharing packages with specific providers.
Awesome. Great question, and something I forgot to show you all. So definitely appreciate that one. So yes, you're able to do that. If you select more here and select share packages, there is a deeper level of customization you can do here. So for example, I have a certain package, like maybe it's just the consultation. And then what I can do is I can unselect who I don't want to be part of this. So maybe this is just Neha and Tom. So what I'm able to do here is when I create this link for this package, this would allow a client, a potential client or a current client to be able to select one of those 2 or no preference. So yes, you're able to customize it where if you want very specific like groups of clients, you're able to do that under the share packages. And to remind you where that lives, under more, share packages. Great question.
Okay, Ken, question from Megan. Can you submit CMS 1500s with all providers and see them on the calendar all at once?
So yes and yes. So being able to see all providers in the calendar once lives under the organization area, where like each of these are my providers with their schedules. So you're able to see all of that. So with CMS 1500s, also the same thing. So when I create CMS 1500s, basically, whoever that client is working with, that CMS 1500 can be created on their behalf. So you as an admin, because you have access to all client info, no matter who that client is working with, when I create a new one, I would see that client as an option to submit here. Like for example, if I put my client Diane, all of their information populates, including their rendering provider, which would be me. So if that client, whoever that client is working with, when you create that CMS 1500, that provider's information, including their MPI and qualifications, automatically populate into that CMS 1500 while I'm creating it.
Just want to check, can anyone give us a wave? There seems to be one participant who can't see our screen. I can see the screen, James, but can anyone else just raise your hand or give a wave if you, or pop into chat if you also cannot see the screen?
Hold on, sorry, I'm gonna reshare it, so don't you do that yet.
Okay, a couple of people can't see.
Yeah, I just reshared it.
Great. Is everyone able to see now? Okay, great. Yep, James, maybe you just want to show that last part.
Yeah, totally. So if you just missed that, I'm going to start over. So,
some people still can't see. We have mixed people. Some people can see. I can see it. If you can't see it, don't worry. In the replay, you'll be able to see it from the replay. Okay. So you can always just pop in and scroll to the end to the Q&A and you can be able to see it here.
It is also possible this is now hiding behind like one of a different browser if you've opened something else up at the same time. Zoom doesn't necessarily like take over your screen when it's being shared.
Cool. We have a couple other questions. So if you missed that last part, just don't worry, the replay will be sent to you. Devin wants to know, does the group plan also enable us to do more with the appointments tab? And it certainly does. James, you can speak to that.
Yeah, definitely. So I think we're talking about, and feel free to clarify, we're talking about the ability of like to schedule appointments under the organization, or are we talking more about the appointment types? Under the organization, the ability, you're able to do a lot more, whereas as mentioned before, when I schedule, I'm able to schedule for other people for any kind of appointment type. I'm also able to schedule with multiple members of my team for a single appointment as well. So the functionality as far as appointments goes is I now as an organization member can both schedule for myself, schedule for others, and schedule appointments with multiple providers or multiple clients at the same time.
And James, can you just pop over and show the calendar settings in general?
Yeah. So under the gear icon on the top right under settings, this is basically every setting you as an admin would be setting up for your group practice, including as I clicking through each of these, well, definitely there's some help resources for that. But for example, putting your brand or your company's logo to replace Healthie when clients or your other team logs in. Another thing you're able to do under calendar and appointments is you as an admin set the settings for everyone on the platform. So for example, if I have basically basic appointment settings that I want to be able to do, I'm able to set those for myself and for the rest of my team as well. So for example, contact types, maybe I only do video calls, so I'm able to edit that. Another one, for example, that's a good one to show is for me and my team, I want clients to be able to cancel appointments, but we have an office policy of you cannot cancel 24 hours before. Or I want clients to be able to reschedule, but our office policy is you can't do that 1 hour before. So a lot of the back end settings for appointments for group, you're setting it up for you and your team at the same time. A ton of other ones on here as far as like I can set up cadence of email reminders, how I want clients to be able to book appointments, how I want them to confirm or auto confirm. So yeah, as far as appointment settings go, you are able to do that here. Also under appointment types, this is also where I'm able to set up as many different appointment types as I want in the platform. If you're new to Healthie, by default, it shows initial, follow-up, and group, but you can create as many different ones as you want, both for you and for your team as well.
Great. And Lori wants to know, can you preset a centralized group business email to populate on billing or super bills versus each individual practitioner's personal email address?
So right now, based on who the provider is for that super bill or CMS 1500, it will show that email. But that is great feedback that I will definitely give to our product team. It sounds like the desire is that we want a business email to show up there instead of like our teams. Something that is not currently doable, but definitely will appreciate that feedback, and we'll loop in our product team after this call.
Great. Any other questions for today? Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. James, you can close it out, but if you want to contact us to learn more either about the platform or about your account and adding other clinicians, please shoot us an email at hello@gethealthy.com. And the last slide that we had showed also has some additional links for you to be able to connect with our team or book a call with James. The link is also in the chat if you'd like.
Awesome. Everyone, thank you so much for your time and looking forward to connecting to hopefully all of you.
Take care, everyone. Thank you.